Hello and good evening, everyone. We are coming to you from Permort Field here at Bernlor Stadium, Bexley, Ohio. A beautiful night here in Central Ohio as we are getting set for college football here on athletics.capital.edu. I'm Charlie Danis. Once again, welcome in to our broadcast. It is the 2021 college football season opener for Capital University as Capital gets set to take on the Yellow Jackets of Defiance College. Before we preview tonight's matchup between Defiance and Capital, we have some interesting news, some very important news, I should say, regarding Capital's identity. Well, for many years, Capital University has often gone by the aforementioned nickname, the Crusaders. Capital has decided to do away with that nickname. So, for the first So as I was saying, for the first couple of broadcasts, you will only hear Capital referred to as Capital CU, the purple and white, until another new nickname will be decided, which, from what I am told, will be decided later on this fall. So, once again, Capital University will no longer go by the nickname the Crusaders. For right now, it'll be Capital University, CU, the purple and white, etc. A new nickname is scheduled to be released later on this fall. Now that we have that out of the way, a very difficult 2020 season for Capital last season. It was the beginning of a new era for this Capital football program as Brian Foos took over as its newly minted head coach. But unfortunately, because of COVID, because of the lack of practices, the cancellation of an actual fall football season, and then the hurried attempt at a spring football season last year, it basically threw everything out of whack. It's hard enough to start anew with a new coaching staff in normal circumstances, but when you throw the pandemic into the mix, when you don't have enough time to practice with your team, that makes things a little more difficult. As a result, Capital compiled a record of 0-4, losses to Wilmington, Heidelberg, Ohio Northern, and longtime rival Otterbein. And that led to an 0-4 campaign in 2020. But luckily, because of better control of the pandemic nowadays, Capital was able to get a relatively normal offseason in with spring football, with fall camp, and by all accounts, Brian Foos and his crew are ready to rock and roll here in 2021 as they welcome in the Yellow Jackets of Defiance College. The Yellow Jackets, they're a team that, to put it lightly, is in transition. We were expecting Manny Metzakis, a former Capital graduate. He graduated from Capital back in 1984, to be exact. We were expecting him to be on the sidelines, being the head coach for Defiance. But a coaching change has been made. Interim head coach Ernest Wilson has taken over since the departure of Metzakis. Wilson, in 1989 grad of Texas Tech. And this is his first head coaching job for the Yellow Jackets. Defiance last year going 2-5 in limited play last season in 2020. So Defiance is in the same type of boat that Capital is, in that these are two programs that are looking to break out, that are looking to experience winning on a consistent basis. We do know that Capital is definitely in that position. One thing to keep an eye on is where this offense will go from here. Ben Everson, the sophomore from Zanesville, Ohio, is expected to get the start at quarterback for Capital. Luke McCarroll will be his backup. Everson, a sophomore from Zanesville, Ohio. McCarroll, a senior from Cardington, Ohio, and a former Mount Union product before transferring here to Capital. There are a grand total of 7 quarterbacks on this Capital roster. And Everson, in the meantime, will get the start. But much like the theme was last year, Brian Foos is trying to figure out this team. He's trying to figure out which puzzle pieces fit where. So I'm sure that Capital is going to be doing a lot of experimenting. They're going to have different players come in at different positions just so Coach Foos can get a chance to see what works, what doesn't, what will be a good combination from a skill position standpoint, what will be a good combination when it comes to the offensive line. Now, we do know that Capital, that offensive line of theirs, will be anchored by a pretty good left tackle in Brody Kuhn. Kuhn, a junior from Powell, Ohio, was an All-OAC honorable mention last season, so he will man that left tackle spot. Meantime, Jacob Hepner, Travis Honecker, Kevin Cuervo, and Garrett Anderson will compose the rest of the Capital offense. Hepner making his first collegiate start at left guard. You have a couple of upperclassmen in Honecker, Cuervo, and Anderson. Cuervo being a senior, Honecker and Anderson both being juniors. So good to see that there's some veteran leadership up front there for that Capital offensive line. What will be very intriguing about this Capital offense this year is the dearth of offensive weapons on the outside. Let's begin with Mike Smith. Smith last year, 18 catches, 221 yards, and 2 touchdowns. This is a young man that played Division II football at Ohio Dominican before transferring to Capital University. And Capital at first wanted him to be a defensive back, but they saw that his hands were so good, they decided to switch him back to wide receiver. So Mike Smith, a senior from Upper Arlington, Ohio, will be getting a start outside at one of those wide receiver spots. Another guy to watch out for is Cam Lee. Cam Lee can do a little bit of everything for this Capital team. Besides being a wide receiver, Lee averaged just under 40 yards per punt. So Lee doubles not only as a wide receiver, but also as a team punter. Cam Lee with 14 catches, 232 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. He's got 10 career receiving touchdowns, and he's a big body as well, 6'3", 230 pounds. But perhaps the most fascinating story to watch at wide receiver is a guy making the transition from defensive back to wide receiver. I'm talking about Aurelius Walters, the 5'10", 170-pound junior from Dayton, Ohio, was a standout defensive back. In fact, he was an All-OAC honorable mention as a defensive back last season for Capital. But the former Miamisburg High School product decided to make the switch from defensive back to wide receiver. Walters will be in that slot wide receiver position, while the likes of Cam Lee and Mike Smith will be on the outside. So whoever ends up slinging the football for Capital this year from the quarterback position, he will have plenty of weapons to work with here in 2021 with the likes of Smith, Lee, and Walters, just to name a few. Now the defense will be led by 2 co-defensive coordinators, Jonathan Black and Joe Nemeth. Nemeth also the assistant head coach and defensive backs coach for this Capital coaching staff. Capital has decided to go with a 3-4 defense, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. And you have to have strong linebackers if you're going to be wanting to run a defensive system like that. Look no further than Nick Pasonic, another Upper Arlington High School product. He led he led Capital in 37 tackles last season. That led Capital in the 2020 campaign. And he'll also be helped out by a pair of brothers who hail from Miamisburg, Ohio, Mike Lawofo and his brother Matt Lawofo. Matt, a senior, Mike, a junior. So you'll be hearing Lawofo a lot on our broadcast as they attempt to make many tackles this season. James Curtis, the junior from Zanesville, Ohio, by the way, will round out the linebacking group for this Capital defense. Baylor Aparius reappears at free safety. Chad Davis, the redshirt senior, will also provide some veteran leadership back there for Capital. Redshirt senior from Wilmington, Ohio, back and better than ever for Capital. A little young at cornerback this year for Capital. Malik Davis, the freshman from Middletown, Ohio, showed a lot of flashes during fall camp, which has allowed him to jump up to one of the starting cornerback spots along with junior Lewis Hurston. So a lot more hope expected here for this Capital team overall that, like we said, last season didn't really get a chance to gel under a brand new coaching staff. They are definitely looking to be, to say the very least, a lot more competitive here in 2021. The offense looking to be more cohesive, more explosive. They got the weapons to do so. Now, the OAC coaches preseason poll came out before the season began. Mount Union, no surprise, was the team picked to finish first in the Ohio Athletic Conference. They had 9 first-place votes. They were followed by John Carroll, who had 1 first-place vote. The rest of the preseason poll looks like this. Heidelberg came in at 3rd. Marietta came in at 4th. Ohio Northern in at 5th. Baldwin Walls, 6th. In the 7th spot, Wilmington. Tied for 8th was Muskingum and Otterbein and Capital. Picked to finish last in the OAC. But, hey, who knows? Maybe Capital can overcome those expectations and perhaps finish in the middle of the pack of the OAC this upcoming season. That would be quite the win for the Crusader program. We will take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have kickoff. We'll have college football back here at Primort Field at Bernlohr Stadium. Capital getting set to take on Defiance. This is your home for Capital football. Athletics.capital.edu. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good evening and welcome to Bernlohr Stadium. College football is back. Capital football is back, and we're glad to have you along for the ride. I'm Charlie Danis. I'll be bringing you the action tonight as Capital gets set to open up the 2021 season against the Yellow Jackets of Defiance College. Capital heading towards their sideline. Head coach Brian Foos, in his second year as head coach of Capital, slapping hands with his boys as they get set to go to battle against Defiance. Capital won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, so Defiance will get the ball to begin this game. Capital changing things up from a uniform perspective. Usually they're in their home purples, but tonight they have decided to go with the all-white look. White helmets with the capital C on each side of the helmet, white jersey with purple letters and purple numbers, purple striping on the shoulder pads, and finally white trousers to go along with a purple stripe and some gray in there as well. Meanwhile, for Defiance, they're in their customary purple jerseys, purple helmets, white numbers and lettering, and they're wearing their gold trousers to go along with purple striping and white striping as well. Shadows starting to creep in a little bit here at Bernlohr Stadium Got a 6 o'clock kickoff time here on a Thursday night in Bexley, Ohio. This will be the only night game of the season. Every home game from here on out for Capital will begin at 1:30 in the afternoon. But for tonight, we'll be playing under the lights here at Bernlohr Stadium. Capital has already taken the field. Eric Noble getting set to kick things away for Capital. Meanwhile, for Defiance, looks like Michael Slade and Devon Brown are back to receive for the Yellow Jackets. Defiance and Capital getting set to duke it out here on the gridiron. College football is back in Bexley. Capital football is underway. The kick is away. And it's going to be taken by Michael Martin to the 20. And Martin will be taken down at about the 20-yard line. Very good special teams tackle that time by Aiden Raymond, the junior linebacker out of Clayton, Ohio. So we will get our first look at the Defiance offense. Here's what their starters look like. At left tackle, Dominic Fannin. Left guard is Eric Moultrie. The center is Tevin Carson Payton. The right guard is Brandon Durkee. And the right tackle is Andre Allmore. The running back is Antoine Dennis. Jelani Hall, Michael Martin, Ethan Gose, and Amin Shahid are the wide receivers that we'll be seeing for Defiance. And leading the Yellow Jackets at quarterback, sophomore Dalen Lange. Lange in the shotgun. It's 1st and 10. The Yellow Jackets at their own 21-yard line. Lange will hand off, and it will be a minimal gain on the ground that time, as knifing his way through there defensively was the graduate senior, number 96, Kobe Swackhammer, native of Sunbury, Ohio, former Big Walnut grad. Loss of one on that last play, so very good push by Swackhammer. And another run play. And gaining a couple of yards on that play was Antoine Dennis. He's a 5'9", 175-pound sophomore. Got a gain of a couple on that last play. Mike Luafo contributing on the tackle right there. So now it's 3rd and 11. Yellow Jackets at their own 22. And it will be a sack back at the 10-yard line. Lange brought down in the backfield. Jack Blaisdell making the play defensively for Capital. And Defiance has to punt for the first time today. On to punt is Matthew Bolanos. And back to receive for Capital is Michael Smith. Bolanos punting from his own end zone, and he'll get it away. It's a big-time wobbler. Smith will not get it. He'll let it roll. This will roll into Capital territory, past the 45, down to about the 41-yard line. So good field position upcoming here for Capital's offense. Let's go ahead and introduce to you the starters for that Capital offense. At left tackle, Brody Kuhn. At left guard, Jacob Hepner. At center, Travis Honecker. At right guard, Kevin Cuervo. And at right tackle, Garrett Anderson. The wide receivers, Mike Smith, Cam Lee, and Aurelius Walters, among others. At running back, Jonathan Williams will get the bulk of the carries. And starting at quarterback for the Crusaders, the 6'2", 200-pound sophomore from Zanesville, Ohio, number 12, Ben Everson. He'll be in the shotgun on this 1st and 10 from the Capital 41-yard line. Everson will take the snap, and he will hand to Williams. And Williams with a big hole as he rumbles his way out to almost midfield. Good first run by Williams. He's a 5'9", 217-pound junior from Ellesmere, Kentucky. That's about 20 minutes southwest of Cincinnati. That was a gain of 8 on that last play, so it'll be 2nd down and 2 as they spot the ball at the Capital 49-yard line. 3 wide receiver set, 2 to the near side, and actually 4 wide receiver set, as Everson will go back to pass, trying to set up a screen to Lee, but it is read beautifully by Defiance's defense.
tackle number 34,
Elijah Fleming
Richard Pope IV.
making the tackle for Defiance along with Richard Pope IV.
Third down for Capital.
So,
3rd and 4, loss of 2 on the play.
as after that play, it is 3rd and 4. Ball will be spotted at the 48-yard line of Capital. Everson once again in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his left, and Williams still in at tailback. Everson takes a snap, rolling to his right. He's got pressure, tries to spin out of pressure. Now he's going to throw down the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. It was tipped at the last moment. Janvier, able to get his hand on that ball. And Malik Lawson also providing some coverage for Defiance on that play. So, both the offenses end up going 3 and out on their first offensive drives of the game, and Cam Lee, meantime, will punt the football away for Capital. Back to receive for Defiance will be Michael Martin, 5'8", 145-pound sophomore for the Yellow Jackets. Lee waiting for the snap, takes it, gets it away. Martin will go nowhere near it as it skips at the 21. It'll go inside the 15, and it will eventually be downed at about the 14-yard line. And Brian Foos and his coaching staff are saying that a player from Defiance might have touched the football, therefore it should be Capital ball. But his argument will be to no avail.
Downing by the Capital on the 14-yard line, 1st and 10.
Our head referee tonight is Chris Glass, and
bring the kick, personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 12. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
So a face mask will actually go against Defiance on that play, as our head referee Chris Glass making the call right there. Scoreless game between Defiance and Capital. Still 11:31 left to play here in the first half. Thursday night football here from Berlin Stadium as we open up another season of college football. Glad college football is back, and glad that we can return to a sense of normalcy when it comes to the game of college football. So Defiance back onto the field, a quick flip to the flat to about the 15 or so, as making the catch for Defiance, as Devin Brown was able to make the catch for Defiance, but a flag has been thrown. Malik Davis making the tackle for Capital.
Offense number 7, half the distance to the goal, replay 1st down.
Penalty will go against Defiance, a holding penalty on the Yellow Jackets. So we will repeat 1st down here. If you're Defiance, you don't like to have penalties like that back you up. They're basically in the shadow of their own goalpost at this point. This will back the ball up to the Defiance 4-yard line as they face a 1st and long, and the ball is dropped. And I think Capital recovered it in the end zone. Touchdown, CU. That was a bobbled snap by Defiance, and Capital was able to pounce upon it in the end zone. Wow. Actually, I take that back. It was recovered at the 1-yard line. So Capital will get a chance to punch it in. So the ball will be spotted at the 1-yard line. Everson and company looking to score. Everson hands off to Williams. Williamson trying to burrow his way down towards that goal line, but Williams will come up short.
Making the tackle, number 10, Justin Caballero.
Justin Caballero with the tackle for Defiance that time. So now it'll be 2nd and goal. Ball still spotted at the 1-yard line. So Capital will get another crack here to find some pay dirt. Everson once again in the shotgun. He's got Mike Smith flanked out wide to the right. They give it to Williams again and again. Great penetration up front by that Defiance defensive front.
Number 10, Justin Caballero.
Richard Pope the fourth. And Justin Caballero able to combine on the tackle for loss. So now things looking a little more difficult for Capital. It seems as though they got a gift by recovering a fumble at the Defiance 1 yard line, but now, after a couple of strong pushes by that Defiance defensive front, they now find themselves 3rd and goal from the Yellow Jacket 5 yard line. Everson in the shotgun. And now flags fly, as it looked as though that somebody on Defiance's defensive line might have jumped.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 31. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
A neutral zone infraction called against Maurice Brewer, the senior defensive lineman from Cordova, Tennessee. So now it's 3rd and goal. The ball is spotted at the Defiance 2 yard line after the penalty. Everson in the shotgun. 3 wide receiver set. Everson takes the snap. He'll roll to his right. He will throw, and it's caught. Touchdown, Capital. Everson able to find senior wide receiver Sam Pickett, a native of the Queen City of Cincinnati, for the first score of the game. It's Capital 6, Defiance 0 with the extra point pending. Beautiful play that time, as Everson was given just enough time by his offensive line to scan the field before he finally found Sam Pickett in the end zone for the score. Snap back, hold down, kick is on the way, and the extra point is good by Eric Noble, 5'9", 185-pound junior from London, Ohio. 9.5 to play here in our first quarter. It's Capital 7, Defiance 0. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with more. This is your home for Capital Football, athletics.capital.edu. Back here at Burnlor Stadium, 9.5 to play here in our first quarter. Capital out to a 7-0 lead over Defiance, thanks to a touchdown reception by senior wideout Sam Pickett. Once again, Eric Noble will kick it away. This will bounce around the 15, and Michael Martin was swallowed up immediately by that Capital special teams unit.
Hitting him first was number 32, Baylor Aparius.
Baylor Aparius making the special teams tackle for Capital. And now we get to see what Defiance will do for a response. Great job by Jack Blaisdell, as he was the one that recovered the fumble on the 1 yard line, and then 3 plays later, Capital able to punch it in with the touchdown reception by Sam Pickett. So now Capital's defense will go to work. Dalen Lange will hand off. It'll be a run to the left.
Pass by number 11, Dylan Lange is complete to number 21,
Devin Brown making the catch for Defiance. James Curtis making the tackle for Capital. Gain of 1 on the last play. It'll be 2nd and 9. Yellow Jackets at their own 18-yard line. And nowhere to go for Dalen Lange.
Running the ball for the Yellow Jackets, number 13, Cole Recker. Making the stop, number 95, Jack Blaisdell.
Jack Blaisdell with another tackle. And actually, it's Cole Recker who is in at quarterback after Lange committed the fumble earlier in this game. So already, this Yellow Jackets team has changed quarterbacks. So Recker will set up in the shotgun on this 3rd and 9 from the Defiance 17-yard line. Recky will throw deep down the far sideline, and that will be incomplete. His intended target on the play,
Number 16, Jelani Hall.
Jelani Hall. And so
4th and 9 on the 17.
Defiance will punt the football away once again. Michael Smith back to receive for Capital. Bolanos waiting for the ball. He gets it, and he'll punt it away. Bolanos kicks to Smith, and Smith will take it to midfield. Smith trying to wrangle his way out of a couple tacklers, and he wrestles his way into Defiance territory as the ball will be spotted at the 46-yard line. So excellent field position here for the Capital offense as they look to build upon their 7-0 lead. 8:04 left to play here in the first quarter. A quick look at the starters for the Defiance defense. At defensive end, Richard Pope IV and Maurice Brewer. At the nose guard position is Rigo Villa. At the linebacker spots, Elijah Fleming, Thomas Coltrane, Justin Caballero, and Benjamin Aguimain. Jaquay Jonvier and Darrell Walker are the cornerbacks, and the safeties are Vashon Palmer and Malik Lawson. On first down, Noah Meeker, senior wideout from Powell, Ohio, with a run play that didn't net much yardage for Capital, as it leads to a loss of 2 for Capital. And it'll set up 2nd and 12. The ball will be spotted after that play at the Defiance 48-yard line. Everson, once again, in the shotgun. He'll put Williams, his tailback, in motion for a moment. Now he takes a snap. He'll look downfield. He'll scramble to his left. Everson looking downfield. He'll tuck it and run it, and he will dive down to the 40-yard line. There'll be a gain of 8 on the play, so a good scramble that time by the sophomore from Zanesville, Ohio. Everson getting playing time last year. He had 3 passing touchdowns to go along with 1 rushing score last season. Comes in here as the starting quarterback for Capital, being backed up by Luke McCarroll, who also saw action at quarterback for Capital last season. 3rd and 4, Capital at the Defiance 40-yard line. Everson back to throw, and it's incomplete as the throw was off target. Jonathan Williams was the intended target for Everson, but led him just a little too far. And now decision time here for Capital, as this is well out of range for junior kicker Eric Noble, but too close for Cam Lee to punt the football away. So Capital is going to gamble here, and they're going to go for it on 4th and down. 4th and 4. Capital at the Yellow Jacket 40-yard line. Everson will set up in the pistol formation. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Williams, the tailback, on his right hip. Everson takes the snap, rolling to his right, trying to find an opening. Everson, gets smacked at the 38-yard line. He'll come up 2 yards short as Defiance is able to make the stop. It's a turnover on downs for Capital as Defiance's offense will come back onto the field. Good idea by Everson trying to pick up the first down there on the run play, but just came up a little short that time, and now the Yellow Jackets will try to make use of relatively good field position. They'll start at their own 37-yard line. A look at the Capital defensive starters. Des Turkson, Jack Blaisdell at defensive end, Kobe Swackhammer at defensive tackle. We'll reveal the rest of the starters in just a moment as Reeker will throw, and the pass is complete. Taking it out to the 43-yard line is Devin Brown, the 5'9 freshman for the Yellow Jackets. The linebackers, James Kurz, Nick Vasonic, and Mike and Matt Lawofo The cornerbacks are Malik Davis and Lewis Hurston. The free safety will be Baylor Aparius, and the strong safety, Chad Davis for Capital. Cole Recker in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers set on this 2nd and 5 from the Yellow Jacket 43. And Reeker with a pass out to the flat to the 40, taken to about the 47-yard line. Once again, making the catches, Devin Brown. So Cole Recker. There's number 13 on the jersey, senior out of Monument, Colorado. Comes in here today after Dalen Lange had trouble with a snap. It was his turnover that ultimately led to Capital's score of the game. And Recker will run forward, but he'll be short of the first down as he took it down to the Capital 46-yard line, needed the 42 in order to convert. So much like Capital a moment ago, Defiance finds themselves in no man's land, and it looks like they're going to be going for it here. Recker looking towards the Defiance sideline for some guidance as he will set up on this 2nd down here. It'll be 2nd down and 5 at the Capital 46. Recker will throw, and that is off the hands. It'll go down as an incomplete pass. But that is definitely a pass that Jelani Hall would like back, as he had it in the breadbasket right there, but just wasn't able to make the snag. So now it brings up 3rd down and 5. The ball is spotted at the Capital 46-yard line. Recker is in the gun with 4 wide receivers. A handoff, and that just might be enough. As Antoine Dennis, the sophomore, is able to rumble through, they will spot the ball at the 42. That's the yard line he needed. That's a 1st down for the Yellow Jackets.
Making the tackle was number 95, Jack Blaisdell.
Jack Blaisdell, the man who recovered the fumble for Capital earlier. That set up the first score of the game, making the tackle on that last play. So now Defiance into Capital territory for the first time today. 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from the CU 42-yard line. Recker will go back to throw. He'll launch a deep one, and this is going to be picked off of the 8-yard line. Making the play defensively, the freshman defensive back from Middletown, Ohio, Malik Davis, in his first collegiate start, comes up with the INT, and his teammates are loving it on the Capital sideline. What a play made by that young man. The former Middletown Midi making the play for the purple and white. That's the 2nd turnover of the game for Defiance. Let's see if Capital can turn that into points like they did with the 1st turnover of the game. 1st and 10 for Capital from their own 7-yard line. Everson will hand off to Williams, and Williams will shuffle his feet, take some tacklers with him as he rumbles ahead to the 11-yard line. Gain of 4 on that last play for Williams.
14, Ben Agimang. 2nd down.
And Aggie-Man making the tackle, and Capital now going with a little bit of tempo as Williams trying to fight his way through that line as he will take it to the 13-yard line. It'll only be a gain of 2 for Williams. So now it'll set up 3rd and 5 for Capital as they look to keep this drive going here. Everson in the shotgun, 3 wideouts to his right, 1 to his left. Williams still in at tailback. Everson backs away from the line after making a little change. And now Everson takes the snap. Down the field, pressure, and it's incomplete. And boy, that could have been a dangerous pass right there. The intended target was Williams. Looked as though they might have bounced off the hands of Williams, and very close by defensively for Defiance was Ben Agieman. So Capital not able to take advantage of another Defiance turnover, and yet another punt upcoming here from Cam Lee. Back to return for Defiance will be Michael Martin. Martin standing at his own 46-yard line. Lee takes the snap, And he will kick from his own end zone. High wobbly kick. It'll bounce at the 42. And this is going to take a Defiance roll as it will roll back inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line of Capital. So not a very good punt by Cam Lee that time, as Defiance will get excellent field position to begin this particular drive. 3:15 remaining in the first quarter. It is Capital leading Defiance by a score of 7-0. The lone score coming on a 5-yard touchdown reception by senior wide receiver Sam Pickett. That coming off of a fumble recovery by Jack Blaisdell at the 1-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets at the Capital 37. Back to pass is Recker, and Recker's pass will be incomplete.
13, Cole Reckers, intended for number 36, Tyshawn Freeman.
Tyshawn Freeman was the intended target for Defiance, but a little bit of a wobbler that time. Leads to an incomplete pass, and that'll lead to 2nd down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. The ball will still be spotted at the Capital 37-yard line. The shadows continue to creep in here at Bernlohr Stadium. Started at 6 o'clock, and at some point we'll be turning on the lights here at Bernlohr. And the give is to the big tailback, Tyshawn Freeman. Freeman, a sophomore from down south, Macon, Georgia. And he is what they call a big one, 6 foot, 250 pounds. So a gain of 3 on the last play leads to 3rd down and 7. And a mix-up in the backfield big time as they were trying another handoff to Tyshawn Freeman. I don't know what happened there as Cole Recker decided to instead keep it, and that will lead to 4th down for the Yellow Jackets. Matt Loafo making the play defensively for Capital. And now let's see what the Yellow Jackets will decide to do here. The ball is spotted at the Capital 34-yard line, and it looks like Defiance will be punting the football away. Matthew Bolanos back out for the Yellow Jackets. And Capital seems to be a little bit confused. Bolanos still waiting for the ball. And he bobbles it. And Capital will bring him down at the 39-yard line. Boy, that looked bizarre as Nick Fasonic and a host of Capital defenders were able to bring him down on the play. I don't know if he was wanting to punt the football away or if that was part of some elaborate fake punt. Either way, it backfires on the Yellow Jackets in a big way. And now Capital will get good field position to begin this particular drive. Looked as though that he was going to punt the football away. The ball kind of spun in Bolanos' hands like he was maybe attempting a pass downfield. But I don't know, as that pass is incomplete, goes off the hands of Michael Smith. And on the coverage for Defiance was Jaquay Janvier.
Defending on the play, number 4, Yaquan Janvier. 2nd and 10 on the 39 for Capital.
So after the incomplete pass, it's 2nd and 10. Capital still at their own 39-yard line. Everson in the shotgun, 3 wide receiver set. He'll go back to pass. And Everson will take off running, and he'll be tripped up at about the 36-yard line. Chasing him down was Thomas Coltrane, the junior from Leslie, Michigan. That'll actually be a loss of 1 on the play.
4-yard loss on the play, 3rd and 11 on the 38.
So now it's 3rd down and 11. Capital at its own 38-yard line. Everson, once again on the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Everson takes the snap, and he is rushed from the very beginning. He's running around. He will throw, and it's complete. Complete to Cam Lee, who makes the catch on the far sideline. Into Defiance territory. Capital goes. A 1st down for CU.
Number 20, Darrell Walker.
Darrell Walker.
1st down for Capital.
was helpless on that play as Cam Lee was able to get open, and now Capital going with a little up-tempo here. 1st and 10 from the 43 of Defiance, and Williams will rumble ahead to about the 40-yard line. This will be about a gain of 3 for the Ellesmere, Kentucky native.
Making the tackle, number 31, Maurice Brewer, second down for
32
Capital.
seconds and counting. Capital leading Defiance 7-0. Capital might have a chance to run at least one more play before the end of the quarter. Everson goes to the line of scrimmage, telling each and every offensive lineman what the play will be. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Everson from the gun. Quick throw, and it is complete to Cam Lee. Once again on the far sideline. And that will be the final play of our first quarter. Capital able to capitalize on an early turnover by Defiance. They turn it into points thanks to a 5-yard touchdown reception by Sam Pickett. As we head to the second quarter, it is Capital leading Defiance 7-0. This is your home for Capital football, athletics.capital.edu. Back here at Burnlor Stadium as we begin second quarter action. Capital leading Defiance 7-0. This is Capital football on athletics.capital.edu. Everson in the shotgun with a receiver to each side of the field, and it'll be a handoff down to about the 30-yard line. Some strong running that time by redshirt freshman Drew Engel. He's from Lorain, Ohio, attended Clearview High School, and that was a good carry by Engel that time as it helps Capital move the chains for a CU first down. Ball will be spotted at the Defiance 30-yard line. Capital looking to add to its 7-0 lead. They were able to get on the board first thanks to a 5-yard touchdown reception by Sam Pickett. 1st and 10 for the purple and white for the Defiance 30-yard line. Everson with the snap. He'll hand. And it will be another carry for Engel as he is eventually tripped up at the 27-yard line. That will be a gain of about 3 for the redshirt freshman. It'll be Engel splitting some time with Jonathan Williams. As Capital going with more up-tempo here. 3 wide receiver set. Capital trying to go with a little bit of a hard count as Everson was barking down there, but Defiance did not fall for it, so now Everson looks to the CU sideline for some guidance. 12 seconds and counting on the play clock as Everson now changes the play at the line of scrimmage. He'll now settle back into the gun. New play in hand. Everson with the snap. He will throw, and it is caught by Mike Smith. His first catch of the game. A nice leaping grab at that on the far side. Ball will be spotted at the 19-yard line. That will result in another CU first down. So that's good news for Capital as they are getting Cam Lee and now Mike Smith involved in that passing game. Talked about it in the pregame show about how those 2 young men could prove to be 2 key cogs in the Capital passing game here in 2021. 1st and 10, Capital from the Yellow Jacket 19-yard line. High snap, and Everson is able to handle it, and he's looking downfield, scrambles to his right, and he will just do the smart thing and throw it out of bounds as that pressure was really bearing down on him. Applying some pressure that time was Coy Gossett, sophomore from Gahanna, Ohio. After the incomplete pass, it'll be 2nd and 10. Capital still at the Yellow Jacket 19-yard line. 13:04 left to play in the second quarter. Capital leading Defiance 7-0. And now, Luke McCarroll has checked in at quarterback for Capital. He'll take the snap, and he'll look, and it will be caught by Ben Everson as he's immediately tackled at the 19-yard line. And we were kind of expecting this, to see a little bit of Everson and a little bit of McCarroll at quarterback, as CU is still trying to figure out who indeed will be the man at the QB1 position. So after that play, it leads to 3rd and 10. The ball's spotted at the Yellow Jacket 19-yard line as we will take under 12.5 to play in the second quarter. McCarroll still in at quarterback. 4 wide receiver set. McCarroll trying to set up a screen. It's caught. 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Drew Engel making the catch, and then he finds a hole and takes it to the house. Engel with the receiving touchdown. So 1 passing touchdown for Ben Everson, another passing touchdown for Luke McCarroll. It adds up to a 13-0 Capital lead with the extra point pending. Eric Noble, right-footed kicker, on to attempt the point after. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. 12:16 left to play in the second quarter. Capital 14, Defiance 0. This is your home for Capital football, athletics.capital.edu. Well, it's only game 1, but Capital offensive coordinator Matt Wright has really got to like what he has seen from the purple and white, as his offense has Capital out to a 14-0 lead over Defiance with 12:16 left to play here in the second quarter. Matt Wright, a Monmouth graduate in 2011, former center back during his Monmouth days. He blocked for 3-time All-American quarterback Alex Tanny during his time at Monmouth. And now he finds himself directing this offense here at Capital. A passing touchdown for Ben Everson and Luke McCarroll, as McCarroll was able to find Drew Engel on a well-executed halfback screen. High kick. This will be taken by one of the up men, bobbled, then taken at the 20 and taken all the way up to the 31-yard line. Kind of a scary situation there for Defiance's Michael Slade, but Slade is able to hold on to it, and a decent return right there by the sophomore cornerback from East Hampton, Connecticut. So now it'll be 1st and 10 for Defiance, as the ball will be spotted at the Yellow Jacket 31-yard line. The Defiance sideline covered in sunshine. Meantime, Capital sideline completely covered in shade. 1st and 10, Yellow Jackets at their own 31-yard line. It continues to be Cole Recker out there at quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. He'll let a rainbow fly, and that is incomplete. And boy, a missed opportunity there for Defiance. Cole Recker had Amin Shahid wide open on the seam route, and he simply overshot Shahid. A bullet dodged by Capital that time.
First down was defending on the play.
So after the incomplete pass, it's 2nd and 10. Defiance still at their own 31-yard line. Capital leading Defiance 14-0. Cole Recker in the shotgun. A 4 wide receiver set. High snap, but Recker's able to handle it. And the give, once again, will be to the big man, Tyshawn Freeman. As Freeman will bull his way forward to about the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 4 on the play, so that should set up 3rd and 6. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line. Cole Reicher taking over at quarterback after Dalen Lange fumbled a snap at Defiance's 1-yard line, and that led to a Sam Pickett receiving touchdown later on. 3rd and 5. Reicher will run with it. 35 out to about the 40-yard line. Needed to get to the 41. This will be close, but first, a flag thrown back at the Defiance 33-yard line. Chris Glass, our referee.
Holding. Offense number 51. Penalties declined. 4th down.
Turns out that Defiance was short on the last play. So the penalty is declined by Capital. And yet another punt upcoming here for Matthew Bolanos. Mike Smith back to receive for Capital. He stands at his own 28-yard line. Bolanos, right-footed kicker, waiting the snap. Snap back, Bolanos handles it, and he will get it away. End over end. He'll hit at the Capital 32, roll inside the 25, inside the 20, and finally down at about, it looks like the 13-yard line. So a very good kick by Bolanos as he got a couple of nice Defiance bounces. And a long field to work with for this Capital offense, which has looked good here in the early going. A 5-yard touchdown reception by senior wide receiver Sam Pickett. And then the redshirt freshman Drew Engel taking a running back screen all the way to the house. A 14-0 lead for Capital. 11:03 to play here in our second quarter. And by the way, what a gorgeous night it has turned out for football. The state of Ohio was treated to some really muggy, hot weather these last couple of weeks, but tonight it finally feels like fall. Williams with a strong run, 25, 30, 35, out to the 40-yard line. He's finally brought down around the 41. Nice strong run that time by Jonathan Williams, which also featured a Nick Chubb-like stiff arm at the beginning. That might have been the thing that sprung him. So big run by Jonathan Williams, and that's something that's really lacked in this Capital program over the last couple of years, the lack of a dependable run game. I say the early returns for Williams and Engel look pretty good. 1st and 10, Capital from their own 42-yard line. Snap taken by Everson. And a screen was going to be set up there, but the pressure was bearing down as that'll be an incomplete pass. They were trying to set up a bubble screen, it looked like, to Sam Pickett. But just too much pressure that time from that Defiance defensive front, mainly from Maurice Brewer, the senior from Cordova, Tennessee. So 2nd and 10, Capital still at its own 42-yard line. 10:20 left to play in the second quarter. Capital 14, Defiance 0 here at Burnlor Stadium. Everson once again in the shotgun. A receiver to his left, 2 to his right. Still in at tailback is Jonathan Williams. Everson will hand to Williams. Williams looking for some running room. And he'll bounce off a couple of tacklers, but he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as Defiance had that play pretty well bottled up. Elijah Fleming coming in to make the tackle for Defiance. 1-yard gain for Williams, so that sets up 3rd and 9 for Capital from its own 43-yard line. Everson looking to the Capital sideline for the play. Has it in hand. Exchanges it with his offensive line mates as the play clock ticks down to under 10. Everson with 3 wideouts to his right, 1 to his left. Puts Williams in motion. Williams still at tailback. Everson back to throw. Spins around. Looking downfield. Still running, and Everson will eventually be hit at about the 42-yard line as Everson just simply ran out of time. Maurice Brewer applying the pressure for Defiance. At the very least, Capital didn't commit a turnover there. But I think as Everson will look back at that play on film, probably would have been better served if he had just simply thrown it away, especially considering that he had been out of the tackle box at that point. So Cam Lee on to punt it away. Once again to return, Michael Martin. Number 7 punting, number 7 back to receive. Lee with a nice punt, a booming punt. And that will go into the end zone. And that is an example of what Cam Lee brings to the table as a punter. He averaged a little over 39 yards per punt. And last season, he had a long of 64. 70-yard punt for Lee, a net of 50 since it bounced into the end zone. So the ball will end up being a touchback. It'll be spotted at the Yellow Jacket 20-yard line. 8:52 left to play in our first half. Capital leading Defiance 14-0. This is your home for Capital football, athletics.capital.edu. I'm Charlie Danis. College football is back across the country, Division I, Division II, Division III. Good to see college football back. It means that fall is right around the corner. Cooler temperatures, football weather. Meantime, the big man, Tyshawn Freeman, with another carry for Defiance. He'll take it to about the 22-yard line, so this will be about a gain of 2 on the play. Again, Freeman, he's a big one. 6 foot, 250-pound, native of Macon, Georgia. Listed as a sophomore for the Yellow Jackets. Kobe Swackhammer sticking his nose in there defensively for Capital on that last play. After the 1-yard gain, it's 2nd and 9. Defiance at its own 21. Once again, they give to Freeman, and Freeman will drag some tacklers along with him as he will dive forward across the 25 to the 27-yard line of Defiance. So this will set up a 3rd and short situation. Hopefully Capital's defense can stand tall here. 3rd and 3. Ball spotted at the Defiance 27-yard line as we tick under 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Capital 14, Defiance 0. Recker is in the pistol. Right behind him is Freeman. They give to Freeman, and Freeman is bottled up. No, he spins out of a tackle, and it will be very close now as taking him down on the play, looks like was James Curtis, and they will mark him a yard short. So 4th and 1. Okay, Defiance is down by a couple of touchdowns. Do they go for it here? It looks like they will. Wouldn't be surprised here if Defiance tries to go with a hard count. And they will go for it, and Recker has more than enough for a first down as he will push forward across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. That'll result in a first down for the Yellow Jackets. Boy, Cole Recker, the junior, actually the senior from Monument, Colorado, making it look easy on that play.
1st and 10 on the 42. Correction, 37.
1st and 10. Ball spot at the Yellow Jacket 37-yard line. Cole Recker, once again on the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Recker looking downfield, scrambling around, still trying to avoid pressure. Gets out of it. Recker breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle as he'll spin across the 40 down to the 42-yard line. Goodness gracious, there could have been 2, 3, maybe even 4 times that Recker could have gotten sacked in the backfield by a Capital defender, but somehow, some way, he turns into Harry Houdini and is able to avoid all of that. So Recker had to do a lot of running for a gain of 5, but that's what happens on that last play. 2nd and 5, Yellow Jackets from their own 42. Recker is going to keep it, and Recker is going to be taken down at the 41-yard line. From the very beginning of that run play, it was Matt Lawofo who charged into the backfield, and that's what caused Recker to not really do anything with that run play. And now an injured player. Oh boy, and this could be a big injury story to keep an eye on for Capital. Coming off of the field for the Crusaders is Nick Vasonic, the former Upper Arlington High School Golden Bear, the leading tackler for this Capital team last season. As he's helped off the field by the training staff, and he has got a noticeable limp as he makes his way over to the training table. If we hear any news about Vasonic, we will let you know. In the meantime, it's 3rd and 6 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 41. Cole Recker once again on the gun. He'll go back to throw. Wide open in the flat, and getting a first down into Capital territory was Devin Brown. Cole Recker and Devin Brown have been quite the connection for this Yellow Jackets passing attack, as that will lead to a first down for the Yellow Jackets. 5:33 to play in our first half. Capital 14, Defiance 0, but now the Yellow Jackets are driving here offensively. Recker in the pistol. Takes a snap, and he will hand a run play to the left, and now a fumble, and Capital recovers it. James Curtis falls on the fumble for Capital. The ball squirted out of the hands of Antoine Dennis as he was trying to go off tackle, and James Curtis is the one who pounces upon it for the CU defense. That's the 3rd turnover of the half for Defiance. And boy, if you are Capital right here, you have got to make that turnover count. You're already up 14-0 on this Yellow Jackets squad. If you're able to punch it into the end zone once again, that would have CU fans feeling pretty good right now. I see a good sign along the sideline for Capital. Looks like Nick Vasonic is moving okay. Everson, meanwhile, will load up deep. He'll go deep, and Cam Lee almost making the catch. Lee gave it the old college try that time, but he ran out of real estate along the near sideline. Defending on the play for Defiance was Jaquay Janvier. Now, should point out, Janvier is only 5'6", 130 pounds, going up against a 6 foot, 230-pound brute in Cam Lee. So I would expect Everson to continue going that way as long as Janvier is defending against Lee. 2nd and 10. Ball at midfield. Everson with 3 wideouts to his left and 1 to his right. It'll be a pitch. A run play out to the left, and oh, that goes nowhere. Drew Engel tried to find some running room that time, but snuffing that play out defensively for Defiance was Elijah Fleming. And now, an injured player for Defiance. Player is down at midfield. Wasn't able to get a good read on the number, as this will provide a momentary pause in the action. 4:58 remaining in our first half. It is Capital 14, Defiance 0. If you're just joining us, touchdown reception by Sam Pickett. Touchdown reception by Drew Engel. Sam Pickett scoring from 5 yards out on a pass from Ben Everson. Engel taking a halfback screen the distance thanks to a well-located pass by senior Luke McCarroll. Coming to his feet is Defiance defensive lineman Maurice Brewer, who was down for a moment. He'll bend over at the waist as it looks like he is in considerable pain. Coming on to the field to check on his players, interim head coach Ernest Wilson, who got this job at Defiance just a couple of weeks ago. We were expecting to see Manny Matzakis, a former Capital graduate, to be the head coach coming into this game for Defiance, but he was let go by the Yellow Jackets. And in steps Ernest Wilson. Third and 13 for Capital. The ball is spotted at the CU 47-yard line. 3 wide receivers. Everson, back to pass. He'll throw, and it is incomplete. Mike Smith was the intended target. The crowd is wanting a flag, but this refereeing crew will not give it to him.
With the coverage on the play, number 20, Darrell Walker.
Darrell Walker applying the coverage for Defiance. And for the second time in this game, Capital not able to take advantage of a turnover. They were able to take advantage on the first turnover. The ball fumbled at the 1-yard line to begin this game, but the subsequent 2 turnovers have not yielded or led to Capital points. So Cam Lee back out to punt the football away for Capital. Martin waits at his own 10. Cam Lee gets it away. This will bounce at the 15, and it will roll forward to about the 24-yard line. So a lucky bounce that time for Defiance. 4:35 left to play in the second quarter. Capital 14, Defiance 0. This is the only game being played in the Ohio Athletic Conference tonight. All other contests will take place coming up on Saturday. Ohio Wesleyan will be hosted by Otterbein. John Carroll plays host to Washington and Jefferson. Baldwin-Wallace goes on the road to take on Hampden-Sydney. Mountain Union on the road as well as they travel to Westminster. Marietta at Dubuque. Wilmington hosting Southern Virginia. Muskingum hosting Waynesburg. Ohio Northern playing host to Denison. And Heidelberg going up to Adrian. Pass out to the flat to the 30. Flag is thrown as the pass is complete to Devin Brown. But I have a feeling this is going to be coming back. This will be a holding penalty. And judging by his body language, looks as though that Michael Martin might be the one that was flagged for the penalty. He just stood there saying, what?
Holding. Offense number 7. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
So Martin was indeed the culprit on that play. Sophomore from the Music City in Nashville, Tennessee.
Coming out of the penalty,
10-yard penalty.
20 on the 15.
Means the 1st and 20. Defiance at its own 15-yard line after the penalty. 4 wide receiver set. Recker back to throw. Looking downfield, and that is going to be complete out to the 26-yard line. Diving and making the catch on the play was Michael Martin, the man who committed the penalty a moment ago. So some of that yardage is picked up. In fact, this will lead to 2nd and 8 after the catch by Martin. The ball will be placed at the Defiance 27-yard line. Recker in the pistol, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He'll take the snap. He'll look downfield. He'll now take off running, and Recker will be taken down at the 30-yard line. Mike Lawofo making the tackle for Capital on the play. And sets up another 3rd down for Defiance. 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5 on the 25.
Ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line. .311 and counting in our second quarter. Capital 14, Defiance 0. Cole Recker with a bad snap, but he's able to recover. He will throw deep. Double coverage, and it's picked off. It's picked off again by Malik Davis. His 2nd interception of the game as he's taken down at the Capital 40-yard line, and now a flag has been thrown. Have a day, Malik Davis, the freshman from Middletown, Ohio, comes up with his 2nd pick of the night. And another turnover for Defiance, their 4th of the half. I'll tell you what, really liked what I have seen from Malik. 5'11", 175-pound freshman from Middletown, Ohio. He traded in his purple and black of Middletown for the purple and white here at Capital.
Was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 21 to Defiance. 15-yard penalty. First down. Number 21, first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Michael Slade will be flagged for a penalty there on sportsmanlike conduct. So that will move the ball into Defiance territory. Ball will be spotted at the Yellow Jacket 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Crusaders. They lead 14-0 with 2:52 remaining, and they still have all 3 timeouts to work with. In at tailback is Drew Engel. And meanwhile, back at quarterback for Capital is McCarroll. McCarroll will load up. Looking for Lee. Lee making the catch at the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Capital. Cam Lee making the catch, dragging defenders with him. He finds pay dirt. It's now a 20-0 lead for Capital. An absolute rainbow thrown up by Luke McCarroll. Lee comes down with it, and he wasn't letting any defenders from Defiance deny him the chance to visit the end zone. What a play by the senior from Piqua, Ohio. 20-0 lead for Capital with 2:42 left to play in our first half. And this has got to be a great sight to see for Capital fans. Last season, so much turnover, so much uncertainty when it came to the offense. Different quarterbacks coming in for Capital, not knowing what their identity was when it came to running the football, when it came to trying to push the ball down the field via the pass. But whether it has been Ben Everson or Luke McCarroll at quarterback, Capital has come out here with a strong run game, some good runs by Jonathan Williams and Drew Engel, but more importantly, some really good vertical threats down the field in Mike Smith and Cam Lee. The seniors have come up big in this game so far. Once again, on 4, the point after is Eric Noble, who is still looking for his first field goal attempt this season. Snap back, hold down. Kick is on the way. It is up, and it is good. 2:42 left to play in the second quarter. It is Capital 21, Defiance 0. Oh, boy. What a game it has been for this Capital offense. They've looked really good so far here today against Defiance. A Capital squad that went 0-4 last year, but they find themselves here with a big lead. But this game's not over. We've seen Defiance move the ball up and down the field, but what's really been their Achilles heel in this first half has been turnovers. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 turnovers for this Defiance squad. So now we'll just have to see what the Yellow Jackets do here as a response as we continue to inch closer and closer to halftime. Yellow Jackets with 2 timeouts remaining. First order of business for the Yellow Jackets has to be, got to take care of the football. Noble will kick off once again for Capital. And back to receive for Defiance. Looks like Michael Martin, along with Michael Slade. Martin will take it at his own 9, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Flag is thrown. Fumble on the play. Did Capital fall on it? A flag was thrown back at the 35-yard line. And it is Capital ball. Coming up with the ball for Capital is Aiden Raymond. 5th turnover of the half for Defiance. Mercy. Oh, boy. What a tough first half this has been for Ernest Wilson and his crew. The 5th turnover of the half for the Yellow Jackets. Meanwhile, Capital will gladly take it. Coming back out at quarterback is Ben Everson. He'll be in the shotgun along with Lance Matthews, junior running back out of Pickerington, Ohio. Everson will go back to throw. He'll go deep, heading towards Smith, and Smith not able to make the catch. Incomplete. Some very tight coverage applied by Darrell Walker, the senior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Before coming to Defiance, he played his college ball at Delaware Valley University. So after the incomplete pass, it's 2nd and 10. Capital at the Yellow Jacket 44-yard line. Everson with 3 wideouts. And the give to the 41-yard line goes Lance Matthews. Matthews, once again a native of Pickerington, Ohio, and played for a really, really good high school football program. Pickerington Central Tigers, one of the best high school football programs in the state of Ohio. Head coach Jay Sherritt always has that group performing at a high level. 3rd and 7. Capital from the Yellow Jacket, 41-yard line. Everson in the shotgun. 3 wide receiver set. Back to throw. Everson looking, and it's caught by Cam Lee. He'll make the catch at the 34-yard line, and that'll be just enough for another CU first down. Janvier making the tackle for Defiance. About a minute and a half to go here in the first half. Capital looking to add to its 21-0 lead before the end of this half. Ball spotted at the Yellow Jacket 34-yard line. Everson with a 3 wide receiver set. Back to throw. Lofts one to Lee. Lee makes the catch. Was he inbounds? No. That would have been another tremendous catch by Cam Lee. The problem was, again, he ran out of real estate along that near sideline, wasn't able to get a toe down. But you can already see what kind of weapon Cam Lee is going to be for Capital in the passing game. Might Everson look that way once again? Lee split out wide to the right. It's a 4 wide receiver set. Mike Smith to the far side. Everson in the gun. Play action, rolling to his right. Everson eludes a tackler, and he's taken down at the 38-yard line.
Number 12, Ben Everson is tackle on the play.
Justin Caballero making the tackle for Defiance. And again, being outside of the tackle box by that much, I'm kind of surprised that Everson simply didn't throw it out of bounds.
13 on the 37.
So now the ball spotted at the Defiance 37-yard line. At the very least, if you're Capital, you'd like to give Eric Noble a chance at a field goal before the end of this half. Everson puts a man in motion. He'll now roll to his right, and he is smothered back at midfield.
Everson is sacked on the play by number 34, Elijah Fleming.
Elijah Fleming simply came in there like a heat-seeking missile, and there was nothing that Everson could do about it. 18.1 seconds to go in our first half. Capital leading Defiance 21-0. So, Cam Lee will go out there to punt it away. And Michael Martin will be back to receive for Defiance.
Number 12 for the offense's helmet came off during the play. This includes a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 8 seconds and we'll start on my ready for play.
So, 10-second runoff after Everson losing his helmet. Clock will go down to 8.1 seconds. And we're still waiting for the clock to get fixed here. Now we're ready to go. And a timeout is going to be taken by Defiance.
Their second of the half.
2.7 seconds remain here in the first half. Capital comfortably ahead of Defiance, 21-0. And, I don't blame Defiance for taking the timeout right there. You want to give Michael Martin a chance to possibly do something special on a punt return. You need all the help you can get. Despite turning the ball over 5 times in this first half, I think oddly enough, you got to feel good if you're Defiance. It could be so much worse. Now, being down 21-0, that's not a good situation. But, again, with the 5 turnovers and where some of the turnovers have occurred even on the field, could be a much greater deficit that Defiance would be facing right now. Certainly, though, if you are Capital, you will definitely take this, especially after all the hardship and all the difficulties that you had to experience in the year 2020. 2021 has gotten off to a nice start as Brian Foos and his squad find themselves leading the Defiance 21-0. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at some games that will be played across the OAC coming up on Saturday. We will also take a look at some games that will be part of a big week 1 in Division I football, including some top 25 action that will be taking place later on tonight. So coming up later on the halftime show. Meantime, Capital leading Defiance 21-0. One more play upcoming here as Michael Martin is getting set to receive a punt. Actually, this is interesting. Capital, instead of punting the football away, they'll give themselves one more offensive opportunity. 3 wide receivers down to the sideline. A heave down to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Almost making the catch off of the ricochet was Sam Pickett, but it falls to the turf, and that is how our first half will end. Pretty good first half. Capital is able to force 5 turnovers against Defiance, and they will head into the locker room leading the Yellow Jackets 21-0. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll examine the first half stats and preview some games across the OAC as well as Division I football coming up this weekend. Again, at the half, it is Capital leading Defiance 21-0. This is your home for Capital football. Athletics.capital.edu. This is halftime here at Primor Field at Bernlohr Stadium. At the half, Capital leading Defiance 21-0. The big scores in this game have all been of the receiving kind. Sam Pickett with a receiving touchdown. Drew Engel taking it into the end zone via a halfback screen. And finally, Cam Lee with a spectacular catch along the near sideline, dragging a couple tacklers on his way to pay dirt as well. It all adds up to a 21-0 lead over Defiance here at the half. Well, an exciting time. College football is back, not just at the Division III level, but also across the country at the Division I level. We'll get to some of the top 25 games that will be taking place later on this weekend. But first, we begin with games that will be played in the OAC. All other games within the OAC are going to be played coming up on Saturday, September 4th. Here's how the games shake out. Otterbein will play host to the Battling Bishops of Ohio Wesleyan. John Carroll, they will be the home team as they entertain Washington and Jefferson. Baldwin-Wallace will find themselves on the road as they will get set to duke it out with Hampton-Sydney. By the way, that Otterbein game beginning at noon, John Carroll beginning at 1, Baldwin-Wallace beginning at 1. Also kicking off at 1 o'clock will be Mount Union, the team picked to once again win the OAC. They will be at Westminster in Pennsylvania. Also at 1 o'clock, Marietta, they got to travel all the way to Dubuque, Iowa. They'll be taking on Dubuque beginning at 1 o'clock in the afternoon coming up on Saturday. At 1:30, Wilmington playing host to Southern Virginia. At 4 o'clock, Muskingum will be playing a college football game against Waynesburg, and they're going to be playing that game at Zanesville High School. So that could be a interesting game between Muskie and Waynesburg. Meantime, at 6 o'clock on Saturday, Ohio Northern, they will play host to the Big Red of Denison University out of the North Coast Athletic Conference. And finally, Heidelberg will have to make the trek up north to Michigan to take on the Bulldogs of Adrian. That game is going to kick off at 6 o'clock on Saturday night. Also, a big week 1 in Division I football, and we actually have a host of teams in the top 25 who are beginning their seasons tonight. Chief among them, 4th-ranked Ohio State, the 3-time defending Big Ten champions, going for a 4th consecutive Big Ten title. They are opening up their season against Big Ten foe Minnesota. The Buckeyes and the Golden Gophers getting set to kick things off from Indianapolis coming up at 8 o'clock. Elsewhere around the country, 22nd ranked Coastal Carolina, who became a darling of sorts around college football. The Chanticleers are leading the Citadel by a score of 7-0 with 8:34 left to play in the first quarter. And 2 other teams from the top 25 playing later on tonight, coming up at 7:30, which will be in a few minutes or so. 24th ranked Utah plays host to Weber State. And at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 25th ranked Arizona State will play host to Southern Utah. On Friday, 10th ranked North Carolina, led by Heisman Trophy candidate Sam Howell, their star quarterback. They will be making the trek to Blacksburg, Virginia to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies. And then Saturday, oh boy, get ready for a slew of good games coming up on September 4th. First up at noon, number 2, Oklahoma. They will be hosting Tulane. That was originally supposed to be a home game for Tulane, but because of Hurricane Ida affecting the state of Louisiana, that game has been moved to Norman, Oklahoma. Big-time matchup between Big Ten foes as 19th-ranked Penn State heads to Camp Randall Stadium to take on the 12th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers. That game is scheduled for a noon kickoff. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 11th-ranked Oregon will play host to Fresno State in what will be an early start time on the West Coast at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Top-ranked Alabama, the defending national champion Crimson Tide, will take on the 14th-ranked Miami of Florida Hurricanes in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. At 3:30 p.m., a team that many consider to be the best Group of 5 team to possibly crash the playoff field. 8th-ranked Cincinnati, led by head coach Luke Fickell. They will play host to the Redhawks of Miami of Ohio. Another big Big Ten matchup at 3:30 as 17th-ranked Indiana travels to Iowa to take on the 18th-ranked Hawkeyes at 4:30 p.m. A matchup of other Iowa teams as 7th-ranked Iowa State plays host to Northern Iowa. 4:30, 21st-ranked Texas takes on 23rd-ranked Louisiana. That'll be the head coaching debut of Steve Sarkisian out there in Austin, Texas. 15th-ranked Southern California plays host to San Jose State at 5 o'clock. Big-time matchup in the Duke Mayos Classic in Charlotte, North Carolina, as 5th-ranked Georgia will be taking on Clemson. And then a couple of other games involving top 25 teams as 13th-ranked Florida gets set to play Florida Atlantic. 6th-ranked Texas A&M will play host to Kent State. 20th-ranked Washington, they will welcome in the Grizz of Montana beginning at 8 o'clock. And at 8:30, 16th-ranked Louisiana State, winners of the national championship a couple of seasons ago, travels out west of the Rose Bowl to take on the Bruins of UCLA. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the stats of our first half. Capital leading Defiance by a score of 21-0. First, the individual statistics. Let us begin with Defiance. Cole Recker is the leading rusher for the Yellow Jackets, 23 rushing yards on 8 carries, a long of 8, and an average of 2.9. Tyshawn Freeman, he's got 5 carries for 17 yards. Antoine Dennis, 4 carries for 4 yards, and Devin Brown, 1 carry for 1 yard. Cole Recker was the guy that came in to play quarterback for Defiance after Dalen Lange fumbled the ball at the Yellow Jackets' 1-yard line, leading to the first score of the night for Capital. So it has been Recker the rest of the way at quarterback. He has gone 4 of 10, 34 passing yards, no touchdowns, and he has been intercepted not once but twice. Those 2 interceptions, by the way, being hauled in by freshman cornerback Malik Davis as the former Middletown Midi, making a big impact defensively for Capital tonight. Receiving for Defiance, 3 catches for 22 yards for Devin Brown and 1 catch for 12 yards for Michael Martin. Meanwhile, for Capital, Jonathan Williams, 8 carries for 42 yards, a long of 29, an average of 5.2. Drew Engel, 3 rushes for a net total of 5 rushing yards. He's been averaging 1.7 yards per carry. And Lance Matthews with 1 carry for 3 yards. Ben Everson and Luke McCarroll have been the 2 gentlemen that have been splitting duties at quarterback, and I'd say both of them have been doing a very good job. Everson has been getting the majority of snaps. He has gone 6 of 17 through the air for 39 passing yards and a score. Luke McCarroll, meanwhile, has gone a perfect 3 of 3 for 45 yards and a passing touchdown. Receiving, Cam Lee with a very nice first half. 5 catches, 74 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown, a long of 45. Mike Smith, 1 catch for 8 yards. Sam Pickett, 1 catch for 2 yards that went for a score. So those are the individual statistics. Now the team statistics for both teams. 44 yards rushing for Capital, 26 for Defiance. Passing yardage, Capital 84, Defiance 34. Total offensive yards, Capital 128, Defiance 60. The turnovers have loomed large in this game. Capital scoring 14 points off of turnovers, 5 turnovers in that first half for Defiance, which has allowed Capital to jump out to this 21-0 lead, and hopefully they can carry it through to the end of this game as we're inching closer and closer to the end of halftime and the beginning of the second half here at Bernlohr Stadium. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Capital and Defiance once again going back out there. Capital looking for its first win of the season and the first win of the Brian Foos era. This is your home for Capital Football, athletics.capital.edu. Welcome back to Permort Field at Bernlohr Stadium. The score, Capital 21, Defiance 0. The opening of the 2021 college football season. After this game, Capital will have a bye week, followed by a road contest at Heidelberg. That'll be on September 18th. Our next broadcast of Capital football here on athletics.capital.edu will be September 25th. When Capital welcomes in Marietta. That could be a good one between CU and the Pioneers. In the meantime, Capital looking to keep it going. Leading Defiance 21-0. A lot of good things from the Capital offense in that first half, and it will be Capital who will receive the ball to begin this half. Lance Matthews and Sam Pickett back to receive for Capital. Meanwhile, Kason Markevich will kick it away for the Yellow Jackets. The kick is away. We're underway here in the second half. Taken by Matthews, 15, 20, and immediately brought down at the 24-yard line. Making the special teams tackle for Defiance was Davion Williams.
Making tackle number 16, Davion Williams.
Number 27 for the return team, helmet came off, and let's leave the game for one play.
First and 10. And Capital will have the ball at its own 25-yard line. That's where their first drive of the second half will begin. Everson back in a quarterback. Split time with McCarroll at the QB position. 3 wide receivers set. And it'll be a handoff out to the 30. 35, 40, 45, midfield, 45, and hit out of bounds around the 39-yard line. Oh, baby, a big run by Lance Matthews, the former Pickerington Central product. And now an injured player down for Defiance, as Elijah Fleming is down flat on his back. He'll get to his feet, and now he will run towards the Defiance sideline to get checked out by the training staff. The entire surface of Permort Field is covered in shadow. The sun setting here in Bexley, Ohio. It has turned out to be a gorgeous night for football. And thank goodness, after those couple of weeks where it was hot, muggy, and sticky and miserable, we're finally being treated to football weather. McCarroll back in a quarterback. Drops back to throw. Deep pass. Michael Smith making the catch. Oh, my goodness, what a grab by the former Upper Arlington Golden Bear. They will spot him out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Marcel Maxwell making the play defensively for Defiance, but not before Smith turns in an impressive grab. So now it's 1st and goal for Capital from the Defiance 4-yard line.
32-yard pass by number 10, Luke McCarroll.
And now Ben Everson back in at quarterback. 4 wide receivers set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. And a throw to Smith, and Smith not able to make the catch.
By number 12, Ben Everson is intended for number 3, Michael Smith, falls incomplete. Defending on the play,
Davion Williams, the freshman from East Atlanta, Georgia, breaking up the pass that time for Defiance. So it'll be 2nd and goal. The ball will still be spotted at the 4-yard line. Last time Capital was in a similar situation like this, down close to the goal line, they decided to go with a rollout that led to a touchdown reception by Sam Pickett. Do they try to do the same thing down here? Everson will take the snap, a handoff up the middle towards the goal line, and they will spot him about a yard short. Lance Matthews tried in vain to get into the end zone, but he was stopped at the last moment. It'll be a gain of 3 all the way down to the 1-yard line.
3rd and goal.
Well, in this situation, this is pretty much telling your offensive lineman, guys, give us a good push up front, and we'll find our way to pay dirt. 3rd and goal. Ball at the 1-yard line. Everson takes the snap, and he will run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Capital. Ben Everson, the sophomore from Zanesville, Ohio, calls his own number. It's now 27-0 in favor of the purple and white. Sometimes it's just best to keep it simple. Everson doing a nice job securing the football, running right up the middle. Great blocking up front that time by the center, Travis Honecker. And also a good push by the right guard, Kevin Cuervo, the senior out of Wintersville, Ohio. Snap back, hold down, kick is up. It is on the way, and it doinks off of the right upright.
Capital lead, 27-0.
No good. But still, gotta like this lead. Gotta like the momentum that is really building for this Capital offense. The score, Capital 27, Defiance 0 with 13:04 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd year for head coach Brian Foos, and this time he and his coaching staff had a full offseason to work with. Foos also doing a nice job of bringing in new talent to this Capital team. 32 freshmen picked up due to some great recruiting by Coach Foos and his staff. Also a handful of transfers added to the mix. It creates competition. The old saying, iron sharpens iron. And so far, purple and white have been looking pretty good. This will go out of bounds around the 12-yard line. This will be a legal procedure on Capital as they were trying to keep the ball away from return man Michael Martin along the near side.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Ball at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
By rule, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. So now Defiance's offense comes back onto the field. Nowhere to go but up for this Defiance offense as the Yellow Jackets committed 5 total turnovers, 4 of them on offense. Back in at quarterback is Dalen Lange. Lange will go back to throw, and his pass will be complete out to the 45-yard line, complete to Amin Shahid. Shahid, a 5'10", 160-pound senior, hails from Fayetteville, Georgia, and used to play in the OAC. In fact, he used to be a member of the Muskingum Muskies before transferring over to Defiance. Back to pass is Lange. Lange running around to the 45 to midfield, and he'll duck out of bounds around the Capital 45-yard line. That'll be just enough for a Yellow Jackets first down. Lange was the one who started at quarterback to begin this game for Defiance, but he was quickly pulled after fumbling a snap at the Yellow Jacket 1-yard line. That led to the Sam Pickett touchdown moments later. A run play up to the 40-yard line as they continue to feed Tyshawn Freeman, the 6', 250-pound sophomore from Macon, Georgia.
And number 34,
Nick Fasonic
Second and 6 on the 40-yard
making the
line.
tackle for Capital. After the gain of 4, it's second down and 6. The ball spotted at the Capital 40-yard line. Lange will throw, and that is complete to the 38, out to about the 34-yard line, as making the reception for Defiance was Jelani Hall, the sophomore from Atlanta.
Number 16,
It's enough for a Yellow Jackets first down.
making the tackle, number 37, Malik Davis, was all the plays. The first down, first and 10 on the
Ball
34.
spotted now at the Capital 34. Lange will now hand to Freeman. Freeman trying to find some room to the 35. Ooh, he lowered the boom that time as he ducks out of bounds around the 31-yard line.
Running the ball, flag on the field. Forcing out of bounds, number 32, Baylor Aquarius.
Baylor Aparius, the native of Cincinnati, Ohio, forcing him out of bounds.
First down.
Holding penalty, meanwhile, against Defiance. Boy, Tyshawn Freeman has been rumbling with the football, and that time he lowered the shoulder and delivered a shot to Aparius, who was able to get up.
Penalty is a repeat first down on 20 yards to go on the 44.
So after the penalty, it'll be first and 20 for Defiance from the Capital 44-yard line, wiping out what was a very impressive run by Tyshawn Freeman. Lange back to throw, and it is incomplete, off the hands of his intended target, Jelani Hall. Just a little too tall on the ladder that time, as Hall was not able to make the snag on the far sideline.
Second and 20 on the 44.
Second and 20 after the incomplete pass. The ball still spotted at the Capital 44-yard line. Lange in the shotgun with 4 wide receivers at his disposal. He'll go back to throw, and he'll scramble to his left. He's running for his life. He will throw, and it's intercepted! It's intercepted by Capital! Down to the 39-yard line. The ball ricocheted around, and coming up with it was big old Des Turkson. Des Turkson, the 6'3", 225-pound junior from Canal, Winchester, Ohio, gets his hands on the ball. The 6th turnover of the night for Defiance.
10 on the 40-yard line.
The co-defensive coordinators for Capital, Jonathan Black and Joe Nemeth, have got to love what they have seen from their Capital D tonight. So, after the interception by Turkson, it's first and 10 for Capital from the Yellow Jacket 40-yard line. McCarroll loads up, and it is almost intercepted. The intended target was Cam Lee, but getting his hands on the ball was Vashon Palmer. Palmer, a 6'2", 160-pound junior who hails from the Gem City of Dayton, Ohio. Attended Thurgood Marshall High School. So McCarroll now in at quarterback for Capital. Second and 10 after the incomplete pass. Ball at the 40. McCarroll thought about a deep pass, but instead goes for a short pass. Cam Lee had the catch, but then it goes into the hands of Darrell Walker. A turnover for Capital, and Defiance gets the ball right back.
Yellow Jackets take over after the turnover. First and 10
Well, that's really unfortunate for Capital right there as Des Dirksen making the terrific grab, but they're not able to capitalize on the turnover as the Crusaders give the ball right back. I believe that's the first turnover of the day for Capital, by the way. So now it's 1st and 10. Yellow Jackets at their own 31-yard line. And a little shovel pass and a run play. That didn't net that much yards. They were trying to get Michael Martin out into some free space that time, but Martin is tripped up by Baylor Aparius. Hails from Cincinnati, Ohio, played his high school ball at Oak Hills. Gain of 1 on the play by Martin. Leads to 2nd down and 9. The ball will be placed at the Yellow Jacket 32-yard line as we're coming up on 10 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Capital 27, Defiance 0. Lange, complete to Mitchell, and Mitchell is met and taken down. Impressive tackle that time by Mike Lawofo, the junior out of Miamisburg, Ohio.
1-yard gain on the play, 3rd and 8 on the 33.
So now it's 3rd down and 8. Yellow Jackets at their own 33-yard line. Dalen Lange will take the snap. And Lange released just as he gets hit. The catch is made by Mitchell, and it results in the Yellow Jackets' first down. Dalen Lange showing some courage that time as he was met with immediate pressure right off the snap. But he was able to get that throw away, complete a frozen rope to Michael Martin, and results in the Yellow Jackets' first down. 1st and 10 for Defiance from their own 46. Lange will hand off. A run play up the middle, across midfield to the 49-yard line. Taking it into the Capital territory is Justin Wilkins, a sophomore out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. There are a lot of players from the state of Georgia, as now whistles will be blown and a timeout will be taken by Capital. A player who was late running onto the field, that was freshman defensive lineman Emmanuel Lane, who hails from Sarah, Mississippi. But as I was saying, a lot of players hailing from the Peach State, Georgia. Defiance, a school that is located at about an hour drive southwest of Toledo. 8:47 remaining in the third quarter. Capital leading Defiance 27-0. A nice breeze blowing through the stadium as the sun has officially set. They have started to turn on the lights here at Bernlohr Stadium.
Yellow Jackets have the ball, 2nd and 5 on the 48.
Dalen Lange back in at quarterback. A receiver to the far side, 3 to the near side. It's another run play. And some heady running that time.
Running the ball, number 22.
Antoine Dennis Jr., sophomore out of Dayton. And boy, he played his high school ball at one of the premier programs in the state of Ohio, Huber Heights Wayne.
3rd down and 2 on the 48.
Home of the Warriors, a great, great football program from Southwest Ohio. 3rd and 2. Lange in the gun. A handoff once again. And they will hand off to Tyshawn Freeman. He'll pick up 3, and that'll be another first down for the Yellow Jackets.
Lawofo. On the play is a first down, 1st and 10 on the 43.
1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets on the Capital 43 as we tick under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Capital 27, Defiance 0. Lange back to throw. Long throw. Incomplete. Had a man downfield in the form of Amin Shahid, but the senior from Fayetteville, Georgia, was not able to catch up to the rocket launched by Lange. Malik Davis in on the coverage for Capital. Davis, by the way, with an already impressive start to his collegiate career with not 1 but 2 interceptions tonight. He's been terrific. 2nd and 10. Yellow Jackets at the Capitol 43-yard line. Dalen Lange will give, and a big run out to the 31-yard line. Justin Wilkins with a full head of steam that time as he rumbles ahead for a Yellow Jackets first down. This has been the deepest that Defiance has gotten into Capitol territory. The give once again to Dennis Jr., and he will scoot ahead forward across the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Gain of 4 on the last play, so that'll lead to 2nd down and 6 as this drive continues for Defiance. Lange will hand off once again. Dennis will chug forward. He'll take it across the 30 to about the 27-yard line. It'll only be about a gain of 1 on the play. So this will lead to 3rd and 5 for Defiance. 6:45 and counting here in our third quarter. Lange once again on the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Dennis Jr., his tailback. Lange back to throw, and it's incomplete. Great pressure administered by Matt Lawofo, leading to the inaccurate pass by Lange. And this will bring up a 4th down and 5. And you got to wonder here if Defiance is going to go for it, being down 27-0, as we are getting close to the midway point of the third quarter. The offense is still out there on the field for the Yellow Jackets, so it looks like they are indeed going for it. Lange back to throw, still looking, rolling to his left, and he's sacked back at the 35-yard line. Jack Blaisdell, who had a huge fumble recovery earlier in this game, gets to the quarterback. And that will lead to a turnover on down. Jack Blaisdell, the senior from Hilltop, Ohio, making the play for the purple and white. So now the Capitol offense will come back onto the field. It'll be 1st and 10 for CU at their own 35-yard line. McCarroll will hand off. And an impressive run across the 40 down to the 44-yard line. Drew Engel, who already has a receiving touchdown in this game. A nice rumble of about 8. And now an injured player for Defiance. Elijah Fleming, the sophomore linebacker from Dayton. Training staff will attend to him. While we have a moment, we mentioned this in the pregame show, but I think it bears mentioning once again. Capitol University has officially retired the nickname the Crusaders. Capitol rolled out a naming contest this past June, and from what I have been told, a decision has been made when it comes to naming a new nickname, but it will not be announced until later on this fall. So going forward, we will refer to this team as Capitol, the purple and white, CU, etc. But a new nickname is coming, a new identity for this Capitol team. That will be unveiled later this fall. 6:13 remaining in our third quarter. Just now getting to his feet is Elijah Fleming, and as he'll make his way to the Defiance sideline. Capitol leading Defiance 27-0 in the season opener. 2021 college football officially back, and not a moment too soon. And boy, it is good to see a packed house here at Bernlohr Stadium tonight. McCarroll back in at quarterback. And the give out to midfield into Defiance territory. Drew Engel with another impressive run, as that will lead to a Capitol first down. Engel will come out of the game. He'll head to the Capital sideline. And back in for Capital is Jonathan Williams, a junior from Kentucky. 1st and 10 for Capital from their own 47. And the give is to Williams. Williams met with plenty of tacklers, but he's still moving those legs. Great effort by Williams as he takes it across the 45 down to the 44-yard line. Only a gain of 3 on the play, but you got to like the effort exerted by Mr. Williams, who has been splitting carries with Drew Angle, among others, on this night for Capital. Second and 7, Capital at the Yellow Jacket 44-yard line. McCarroll is in the shotgun. Quick throw. And that will go nowhere. It'll be a net gain of 0 as Ben Everson was trying to turn it upfield that time, but ran into a host of Defiance tacklers. So Everson in there as a wide receiver. McCarroll will stay in there as quarterback. Carroll is senior from Cardington, Ohio. Former Cardington Lincoln Pirates. Play action. McCarroll will go deep, and that is out of the reach of Noah Meeker, senior out of Powell, Ohio.
McCarroll is intended for number 13, Noah Meeker. Defending on the play, number 6.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 0, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Rigo Villa, the senior out of Fort Myers, Florida, meanwhile, flagged for roughing the passer. That'll be an automatic first down for Capital as they will move deeper into Defiance territory. 4:10 remaining in the third quarter. Capital leading Defiance 27-0. This is Capital football on athletics.capital.edu. McCarroll in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Takes the snap, and McCarroll is brought down. And McCarroll was wanting a face mask that time. Coming in like a bolt of lightning was Ben Aguiman, the sophomore out of Grand Prairie, Texas. And McCarroll thought that his face mask was grabbed on that play. Instead, it will go down as a sack, and the ball will now be spotted at the Yellow Jacket 36-yard line. Loss of 4 on the previous play, so that now sets up 2nd and 14. McCarroll with 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. And Williams still in at tailback. McCarroll takes the snap. Will run out of trouble. 35, 30, 25. Across the 20, down to the 18-yard line. McCarroll finally taken down on the play by Vashon Palmer, but not before he picks up another big CU first down. And now, Capital going with some up-tempo here. 1st and 10 from the Yellow Jacket 18-yard line. And now McCarroll will slow things up, and he will look to the Capital sideline for some guidance when it comes to deciding what next play to run. Williams still in at tailback. 2 receivers to each side of the field. 4 wide receiver set. McCarroll, pump fake, throw to the end zone, and incomplete. He had Ben Everson open, but overshot him a bit.
Ball's incomplete in the end zone. 2nd and 10 on the 18.
That will lead to 2nd down and 10. The ball will still be at the 18-yard line. Wonderful play design, and Everson did his job getting open, but the pass off target. Thrown a little too hard that time by McCarroll. 2nd and 10 for Capital. McCarroll with a 3-receiver set. He'll take the snap. Goes over his options. Throws towards the end zone. It is incomplete. This time the intended target, actually, it was the same intended target as the previous play, Ben Everson.
Defending on the play, number 26, Jeremiah White.
Jeremiah White, the freshman defensive back out of Atlanta, Georgia, on the coverage for Defiance. So now it's 3rd and 10. Ball spotted at the Yellow Jacket 18-yard line. Capital has got to get it to the 8-yard line in order to convert. McCarroll, 2 wide receivers bunched to his right. And now a timeout is going to be taken by Capital. We'll take a timeout as well. 2:41 left to play in the third quarter. Capital 27, Defiance 0. This is Capital Football on athletics.capital.edu. This is a presentation of Capital Football on athletics.capital.edu. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Charlie Danis. 2021 season opener has been going very well for Capital so far as they find themselves leading Defiance 27-0 with 2:41 left to play in the third quarter. Third down and 10. A give to Williams, and Williams will run it up the middle to about the 15-yard line. Does Capital try to go for a field goal here, or do they try to gamble here on fourth down? No sign of the field goal unit, so it looks as though that the offense will try to go for it here. That was only a gain of 3 by Williams, so it's fourth down and 7. Ball spot at the 15. Capital's got to get it to the 8 in order to convert. McCarroll takes the snap. Looks, throws, complete. And that will be enough for a Capital first down, as making the catch for the Crusaders was Drew Engel. Nice job by Engel holding on to the football there on the near side. And this will keep the drive going. A successful conversion on fourth down for the Crusaders. It'll be first and goal. The ball will be spotted at the 7-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. McCarroll will stay in at quarterback. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Engel still in at tailback. He will be on McCarroll's right hip in the shotgun. McCarroll takes a snap, hands to Engel. Engel up the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown, Capital. The second touchdown of the night for the redshirt freshman from Lorain, Ohio, Drew Engel. Scored earlier in this game on a halfback screen. His first rushing touchdown of the night to go along with a receiving touchdown. A good night for Drew Engel. Noble on for the point after. It is up, and it is good. Minute 20 remaining in the third quarter. Capital leading Defiance 34-0. This is a presentation of Capital Football on athletics.capital.edu.
Michael Martin.
Second touchdown of the night for Drew Engel. Allows Capital to further stretch their lead over Defiance. 34-0 in favor of the purple and white with a minute 20 remaining in the third quarter. Noble will kick it away for Capital. Taken at the 11, 15, 20. And that is about it. Makari Biggums, the senior from Homerville, Georgia, with the return for Defiance, who has had a very tough night to say the least. 6 turnovers on the evening for the Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets have the ball, 1st and 10 on the 25.
So the Yellow Jacket offense comes back onto the field, and Dalen Lange stays in at quarterback. He was the quarterback to begin the game. Cole Recker then came in and completed the rest of the first half, and since then, Lange has retaken the quarterback duties for the Yellow Jackets. 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line of Defiance. Lange back to throw, shuffling his feet, throws deep, has a man, it's caught. Down to the 25-20, 15, 10, 5, gone. Touchdown. Amin Shahid shows off the speed as he takes it all the way to the house. That was an impressive display of speed right there by the senior from Fayetteville, Georgia. So Defiance gets on the board for the first time tonight. Kason Markovich on for the kick. And there are all sorts of whistles, and the play has been whistled dead. And now a flag has been thrown.
False start on the offense. All 11 players were not set. But replay the try.
Oh, boy. That is certainly not going to make interim head coach Ernest Wilson all that happy, as not all 11 players were set on the line while they were trying to attempt that kick, leading to a false start. And backing this point after attempt, backing it up 5 yards. Take 2 for Markovich after the penalty. Kick is away. It is good. So, Defiance gets on the board thanks to a long touchdown reception by Amin Shahid. But they still trail big in this game. They find themselves down big 34-7 against Capital with a little over a minute to play here in the third quarter, as the lights are shining bright here at Promort Field at Bernlohr Stadium. Once again, next week, Capital will be off, and then they will hit the road. They will take on the Student Princes at Heidelberg on September 18th before coming back home and taking on the Pioneers of Marietta. Both of those games are scheduled for a 1:30 start. We'll have the Marietta game for you coming up on September 25th right here on athletics.capital.edu. Heidelberg picked to finish 3rd in the OAC. Marietta picked to finish 4th in the Ohio Athletic Conference. Kason Markovich will kick it away. And this will be taken by Williams. 20, 25, 30. Almost getting to the 35-yard line, but they'll mark him down at the 34. That was a good return that time by Jonathan Williams, the running back.
Making the tackle, number 8, Carlene Eliasius.
Carlene Eliasius, the senior from Palm Beach, Florida, making the tackle for Defiance. 1st and 10. Capital with the ball at its own 34-yard line. And back and forth we continue to go with the quarterbacks. Everson back in as the signal caller for Capital. And the give. It's a run play up the middle, and a good chunk of yards picked up that time by Lance Matthews, junior running back out of Pickerington, Ohio.
a tackle, number 6.
It'll be a gain of about 4 on the play. That'll lead to, actually a gain of 3, excuse me. So that'll lead to 2nd and 7. 31 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. Everson on the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Matthews stays in at tailback. Lance Matthews trying to find some running room. Cuts it outside to the 40, to the 45. And he is knocked out of bounds near midfield. They'll spot him officially at the 48-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Capital first down. And now time has been stopped for an injured Defiance player. Can't tell what number he is. It's an injured player along the far sideline. They continue to look at the injured player. Lying on his back around midfield. Clock will run, and that is going to take us to the end of the third quarter. Capital still comfortably ahead of Defiance. It is CU 34, Defiance 7. This is Capital Football on athletics.capital.edu. We begin action in the fourth quarter, where we find Capital leading Defiance 34-7. Everson back at quarterback. It's a play action. Everson will roll to his right, and he will eventually be pushed out of bounds at the Capital 49-yard line. So that'll actually be about a gain of 1 on the play. You would think that with this big lead that Capital would make more of an effort to run the football going forward. Then again, a lot of their big plays tonight have come via the pass. We'll just have to see how CU decides to attack this defense going forward. It is a run play up the middle, and some tough running that time by Lance Matthews. Looked initially like he might have been dead to rights in the backfield, but he's actually able to squirt through, cross midfield into Defiance territory. Ball will be spotted at the 48-yard line. And now a 3rd and 7 upcoming here for Capital, as we are almost a minute into the fourth quarter. Capital 34, Defiance 7. Everson has been doing a nice job at the quarterback spot for Capital tonight, splitting time with Luke McCarroll. Everson takes the snap, rolls to his left. He will throw, gets the pass off, and it is incomplete. Mike Smith, the intended target. On the coverage for Defiance was Jeremiah White. Kind of a miracle that Everson was able to get that pass off, considering all the pressure that was bearing down on him. So it'll be 4th down for Capital. Cam Lee will punt it away once again for CU, and back to receive will be Michael Martin. Martin standing at his own 10-yard line.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
Now the play clock has been fixed. We're going to tend to the business at hand as Cam Lee awaits the punt. A little high, but Lee's able to get it away. Bounces inside the 10, and oh, baby, will trickle out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Nice job by Ken Lee that time. It was a high arcing punt, and it hit the right spot, and it goes out of bounds just where he wants it to go, at the 6-yard line. Long field to work with now for Defiance. 13:35 left to play here in the third quarter. Capital leading Defiance 34-7 as Capital continues to inch closer and closer to the first win of the Brian Foos era. Dalen Lange. Lange will throw and complete out to the 15. Out to about the 19 now due to forward progress as the man who made the catch was Amin Shahid. That'll be enough for a Yellow Jacket first down.
Result plays a first down, 1st and 10 on the 20.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 20-yard line. Lang is still in at quarterback. 3 wide receiver set. He'll go back to pass. He'll evade the rush, and he will dive forward to about the 24-yard line. He was able to avoid some pressure from that Capital defensive front and pick up 4 in the process. So gain of 4 on that last play. It'll lead to a 2nd and 7, actually a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Ball will be spotted at the Yellow Jacket 24-yard line. Lange back to pass. Complete to the 25, out to about the 31 as the man who made that catch was Salah Edwards, another kid from Atlanta, Georgia. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the Yellow Jacket 31-yard line. Lange goes back to pass once again, scrambles out of trouble, looks downfield, throws, and it is complete to the 38-yard line as making the catch was Amin Shahid, who had a receiving touchdown earlier in this game, in the third quarter to be more specific.
Brings up 2nd down.
Second and 3.
On the 38.
Lange will give off. Nice strong tackle that time by Mike Lawofo.
Number 22, Antoine Dennis.
As he was able to stand up Antoine Dennis at the point of attack. And now a Capital defensive player is down on the field while they attend to the injured player. We'll step aside for a moment. 11:35 to play here in the fourth quarter. It is Capital 34, Defiance 7 here on athletics.capital.edu. Oh boy, making his way off of the field is Mike Lawofo. Mike, the junior, his brother Matt, a senior. Brothers, originally from Miamisburg, Ohio. Let's hope everything is okay with Mike. Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 1. Yellow Jackets at their own 40-yard line. And a run up the middle into Capital territory.
Number 36, Tyshawn Freeman.
I got to tell you, I really like what I have seen from Tyshawn Freeman tonight. 6 foot, 250-pound sophomore. When he gets a full head of steam going, he is tough to bring down. That is another big first down there for Defiance. So now it's 1st and 10. Defiance at the Capital 44. A throw to the far side, and it is complete to Amin Shahid.
Pass by number 11, Dalen Lange is complete. Number 3.
So the pass complete from Lange to Shahid. It'll be 2nd and 5.
On on the 37.
All spotted at the 37-yard line of Capital. Lange will take the snap. He'll drop back, and he will run around. He will throw, and it is incomplete. The intended target that time was Amin Shahid.
Number 11, Dalen Lange, was intended for number 3. Amin Shahid falls incomplete. Defending on the play, forcing the incompletion, number 8, Chad Davis.
Chad Davis, the redshirt senior, coming in there late to force the incomplete pass. So now it's 3rd and 4 for the Yellow Jackets from the Capital 38-yard line. Lange will hand forward, and this time a good push up front, led by Des Turkson. Bringing down Freeman on the play, and that will force 4th down for Defiance.
On the stop. Brings up 4th down.
Defiance will go ahead and go for it here on this 4th and 2 from the Capital 37. Lange surveys the field. He'll run forward, and he will dive forward for a Yellow Jacket first down. He'll be tackled at the 33-yard line of Capital, and that is another first down for Defiance. Under 10 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Capital leading Defiance 34-7. Lange in the pistol. 4 wide receiver set. Freeman still in at running back. Lange back to throw. Looks downfield. Scrambles to his left. Now moving to his right. Evades a tackler. And he will simply dive forward to the 31-yard line. Actually making the tackle on the play for Capital was Jack Blaisdell.
The tackle number 95, Jack Blaisdell.
Lange's got some good wheels on him.
Brings up 2nd and 8 on the 31.
Junior from Salina, Ohio. Played at St. Henry. There's another good high school football program. Heidelberg University product as well before heading over to Defiance. And a pass to Michael Martin. Martin gang tackled on the play by a host of Capital defenders, led prominently by Matt Lawofo. Des Turkson also making an impact on that play. Brings up 3rd and 7. The ball is spotted at the Capital 30-yard line. Dalen Lange in the pistol. 2 receivers to each side. Lange looks downfield, throws to the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Pass by number 11, Dylan Lange, is intended for the A in Capital, falls incomplete.
Intended for Amin Shahid. And Shahid was trying to make a bid for his 2nd receiving touchdown of the night. So the Yellow Jackets will now go for it once again. 4th and 7. Yellow Jackets at the Capital 30-yard line. Lange once again in the shotgun. 3 wideouts to his left, 1 to his right. Lange back to throw. Looking, still looking, scrambling to his right. Has some daylight. And Lange is going to be stopped a yard short.
Number 11, Dalen Lange runs the ball.
Looks like Brandon Bowling, the freshman linebacker from Arlington, Ohio, able to make the play there defensively. That's a turnover on downs, and now Capital will get the ball back here. 8:16 left to play in the 4th quarter. Capital leading Defiance 34-7. And if you're Capital right here with a big-time lead, let the big guys push those Defiance guys around a little bit, get that run game going, and start taking some time off that clock. Williams will run forward. And that's a good start right there as he's able to churn forward for about 4 yards on the play.
Running the ball for Capital, number 28, Jonathan Williams.
It has been a good night for the junior from Ellesmere, Kentucky. Only had 13 carries all of last season, but Williams has definitely made his mark in the run game tonight. 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain by Williams. The ball will be spotted at the Capital 29-yard line, and Capital in no particular hurry as it will hand to Williams. Williams able to find some space, taking it across the 30 down to the 34-yard line. So this will set up a 3rd and short situation. This is just what Capital wants right here. Give the ball to your horses, let them run forward, let them chew up some clock. So now it'll be 3rd and 1 for Capital from its own 34-yard line. Williams will stay in at tailback. And I would be very surprised if Capital deviates from anything but a carry here for Williams. McCarroll in at quarterback. And Williams will run forward. 40, stays on his feet to the 45, spinning his way to the 47-yard line. Big first down for Williams. Big first down for Capital. And now Williams will ask for a little bit of a breather. Nope, he'll actually stay in as Everson is in at quarterback for Capital. 1st and 10 for Capital at its own 48-yard line. And now Capital is just going to change the play at the line of scrimmage. They'll look to the sideline for some guidance. Play clock churning away, 13 and counting. We're under 6.5 to play here in the 4th quarter with Capital comfortably ahead 34-7. There's another run play up the middle. Williams staying in there, and this time Williams is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a no-gainer on that carry by Williams. Making the tackle on the play for Defiance was Josh Ingram, the freshman from Williamstown, West Virginia.
Josh Ingram. 2nd and 10 on the 48.
So now Drew Engel will check in at running back for Capital. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, but again, we're expecting this to be a run play. A man is put in motion. It's a pass play, and it's complete. The catch is made by Noah Meeker, and it looks like he'll be about a yard short. No, actually, he will be right at the first down marker. That will result in a Capital first down, and that will also keep the clock running.
First down for Capital, 1st and 10 on the 42.
So it wasn't a run play on that last play, but still works for Capital. More importantly, keeps the clock running, keeps this drive going. 5:17 and counting to the 4th quarter. Capital 34, Defiance 7. Engel will stay in at running back. Everson will stay in at quarterback. Everson is in the shotgun, and he will hand to Engel, and Engel will push his way forward, and he'll get to the 41. That'll only be a gain of about 1 on the play for Engel.
Running ball for Capital, number 22.
And now mass substitutions for Defiance. A complete shuffling of that defensive lineup for Defiance. It was almost like a shift in hockey with all the players going off of the field all at once. 2nd and 9 for Capital. They're at the Yellow Jacket 41-yard line as they continue to chip away at this clock. And Everson does the smart move and keeps it to the 30, down to the 25-yard line. More importantly, he stays in bounds. But a big hit delivered that time by Terrence Williams, the junior out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Hopefully Everson is okay after that play as he is able to get to his feet. Gets a nice handshake from Cam Lee. So 1st and 10 now for Capital after the big run by Everson. The ball is now spotted at the Yellow Jacket 24-yard line as we tick towards 4 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Everson in the gun along with Drew Engel, his tailback on his right hip. The give is to Engel. 25, low stutter step to the 20, inside the 20 to about the, let's call it the 18-yard line. Actually, I'll take that back, the 17-yard line. That'll be a gain of 7 for Engel. 2nd down and 3 after the carry by Engel. And a new running back now in for Capital. Tyson. I want to be able to get his last name right. Shuttler, freshman from Bluffton, Ohio. Shuttler with the carry inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. This is a methodical drive of beauty right here by Capital. Mostly run plays.
Making the tackle, number 33.
As this offensive line for Capital has been able to wear down Defiance tonight.
First and 10 on the 12.
Leads to a 1st and 10. Capital with the ball at the Yellow Jacket 12-yard line as we tick under 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Capital taking its dear sweet time before snapping this play. 11 seconds and counting. Now they snap it off. Shuttler inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play as the clock keeps ticking away.
Second and 6 on the 8-yard line.
Shuttler will stay in at running back for Capital. 2nd and 6. Capital at the Defiance 8-yard line. Everson in the gun. Takes a snap. Hands to Shuttler. Shuttler inside the 10. 5. Touchdown, Capital! How about that? Tyson Shuttler with his first collegiate touchdown. What a way to cap off what was an excellent drive of mostly run plays. Takes a lot of time off the clock, and that just might be the capper for what has turned out to be an impressive night for the Capital offense. Noble on for the point after. Snap back, hold down. Kick is up, and it is good. A minute 53 remaining in the fourth quarter. Boy, what a night it has been for the purple and white as Brian Foos throwing up some hands, getting some high fives from his boys. It's Capital leading Defiance 41-7. Brian Foos less than 2 minutes away from his first career win as Capital's head coach. That Capital sideline has got to be feeling real good right about now, especially with all the turmoil that they had to face as a team last season with the pandemic going on, with the lack of practice that they could do with a brand new coaching staff. Capital going 0-4 last year in 2020. But, folks, I can tell you right now, this is a much more improved Capital squad, particularly offensively. They got weapons all over the place. At wide receiver, plus this run game, this is the best that I've seen Capital run the football in quite some time. So now all that's left to do for Capital is to just make a few more plays here defensively. And then they will be able to celebrate win number 1 here in 2021. Noble with the kick. This will be taken at about the 11-yard line. 15, 20, 25, out to about the 30-yard line or so. That was a return by Michael Martin. Actually, Keontae Fowler, with the return for Defiance. Minute 46 remaining. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 30-yard line. Defiance will drop to 0-1 on the season. Capital, meanwhile, will improve to 1-0 on the young 2021 campaign. They will have a bye week next week. They will then hit the road. They will be at Heidelberg on September 18th before coming back home to take on Marietta on the 25th. Jordan Ambrose is in at quarterback for Defiance as Ambrose will take off running to the 40, 45, and that's where he will skirt out of bounds. Ambrose, a junior from Tomball, Texas.
Number 9, Jordan Ambrose running the ball.
So the day is done for Dalen Lange, as well as Cole Recker, who saw a lot of action in the first half. Third quarterback of the night is Jordan Ambrose. Ambrose will take the snap. He'll go back to throw. It will be complete out to about midfield. Making the catch for Defiance was Jaden Scott, the freshman from Richburg, South Carolina, as there are now a lot of backups out there offensively for Defiance.
Making the tackle, number 51, Nate Haslett.
Nate Haslett, the linebacker from Miamisburg, making the tackle on the play for Capital. Minute 23 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Capital 41 and Defiance 7 and a sack. Michael Hoofstetter, the freshman from Lockburn, Ohio, brings Ambrose down on the play as that clock continues to run. 1 minute remaining. Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 10 for Defiance from its own 45. Ambrose with a 4 wide receiver set. He will go back to pass. He's looking, and he'll be brought down again. Another sack for Michael Hoofstetter.
Michael Hoofstetter brings up 4th down and 10 on the 42.
Well, what a night for the freshman from Lockburn, Ohio. 22 seconds and counting.
Timeout, Defiance.
And a timeout will be taken by Defiance. Well, a tough start to the season for Defiance, a team that had already let go of its coach before the season began. Manny Mazakis being let go before the start of the season. Ernest Wilson, the interim head coach. And this is not the game that he was wanting out of his Yellow Jackets tonight. A slew of turnovers, 6 to be exact for Defiance. A lot of things to clean up for the Yellow Jackets. In the meantime, a lot, and I mean a lot of good things to take away for Brian Foos and his team. The offense showing some explosiveness, particularly in the pass game, and the defense being very opportunistic. So now a punt upcoming.
38,
Bryce Garland, freshman from Nashville, Tennessee, will kick it away, and Mike Smith will be back to receive the kick for Capital. Punt is away. Smith won't touch it. He'll let this one roll inside the 20. Actually, it'll roll out of bounds right about at the 20. And that is where Capital will take possession. And the crowd is feeling it. The sideline is feeling it for Capital as well. A wonderful night for the purple and white. A simple knee here will deliver Capital a win. The sweetest formation in all sports, the victory formation. The knee is taken, and that will be it. Congratulations to Brian Foos, his first win as head coach of Capital Football. As he gets doused with Gatorade, his players slapping him on the back, congratulating the old ball coach. Good for Brian Foos, good for his players, good for his coaching staff, and good for these Capital fans who came out to Burnlor Stadium to watch Capital defeat Defiance by a final score of 41-7. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll examine the final stats and tell you who is up next for this Capital team. They sure will savor this victory as they open the 2021 campaign with a 41-7 win over Defiance. This has been a presentation of Capital Football here on athletics.capital.edu. Good times being had by all here at Bernlohr Stadium. Capital defeating Defiance by a final score of 41-7. The fans are still here celebrating a season opening win here in 2021. Great win for Capital tonight. More importantly, the first win of the Brian Foos era as the Capital head coach is able to get his first win here in Bexley, Ohio. Well, unfortunately for us, we are having some technical difficulties when it comes to compiling stats tonight. And I can tell you this, folks, this is a Capital team that is very, very much improved compared to the 2020 version, as they have just broken the huddle. And they're running up into the stands right now, and I think I know where they're going. It looks like they're going to ring the victory bell. And let me tell you something, folks, that is a really special moment considering some of the lean years that this Capital football program has experienced over the last couple of years. They are heading towards the victory bell, which is located outside of Bernlohr Stadium here, and it's going to be ringing with pure joy. A tremendous effort tonight by Capital as they are able to defeat Defiance by a final score of 41-7. So with the win, Capital improves to 1-0 overall. Meantime, Defiance, they will drop to 0-1 on the season. Capital will have a bye week next week, and then they will return to action on September 18th when they head to Heidelberg to take on the Student Princes. That game is scheduled for a 1:30 start. You can follow along with all the action on athletics.capital.edu with all the live stats for that game. And then we will be back on the air on September 25th when Capital plays host to the Pioneers of Marietta. That game is scheduled for a 1:30 start. We will get things started with the pregame show beginning at 1:15 p.m. This is Charlie Danis saying one final time, the final score tonight from Promart Field at Bernlohr Stadium, Capital 41, Defiance 7. We hope that you have enjoyed this presentation of Capital football here on athletics.capital.edu. So long and good night from Bexley, Ohio.